What's going on? Hey, what's going on, guys? How are you? Kind of an interesting day here today, let me tell you, folks. Oh my gosh. So anyway, as you may or may not have heard, and I'm trying to actually update my Facebook so people can kind of watch the link there too. So give me 1 second, because as you can imagine, I've been running around like a lunatic all day and yesterday, and it's super stressful, man. But here, I'm just going to go ahead and post this live link up now. All right, guys. So this is what's going down. We got a Category 4 hurricane on its way up the Florida coast. Super stressful. This is a really, really crazy event. When I first moved to Florida in 2004, we had a couple of hurricanes go over that very first summer that I had moved here, and it was pretty intense. But they were Category 2 storms. Wilma, I believe, was a Category 3. That was in 2005. And everything did okay. I mean, a lot of trees down, broken fences, things like that. Just a tremendous amount of work for the cleanup, as you guys can imagine. So basically, usually this place is the most incredible place to live because the animals can be outside, but not today. So what I'm going to be doing, we're going to try and make this work for Sunday's bonus video. But what I'm doing is I'm kind of documenting the storm, so you guys can kind of see exactly what is going on. So that's the best I can do. Now just give me 1 second, because in order for me to read your comments, I have to pause the video there. Good. Just do me a favor, guys. Can you guys still hear me all right? I just want to make sure I'm coming in loud and clear. As you can imagine, it's going to be pretty nuts here today. Yeah, it looks like my mic is still working. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, 2004 and then 2005. But this one's pretty intense because it's a Category 4, and the way it's coming up the coast, if we're lucky, it'll wobble a little bit to the west, and we'll be spared most of the damage. I'm about 15 miles inland, but Florida is so flat that those winds will be able to penetrate. So what I had to do is I had to walk around and just get all the animals in bunkers. I've pulled a lot of animals. They're in my snake room, which is inside a big steel warehouse. So the Cuban iguanas, Slinky, the rhino iguanas, all those guys are in secured, locked tubs, as is the Burmese python. I took it out of its enclosure and put him in a locked tub because we don't want them getting out. But it's just nuts. So yeah, some of you may have noticed that I did bring a buddy out here today. It's Solomon, my monkey tail skink. So I'll just let him kind of wander around, and you guys can look at him as he's doing his thing on the iguana, okay? He's got incredibly sharp claws. I don't want to pick him up because every time I pick him up, he just locks onto me. But let's talk a little bit. You guys can ask me some questions maybe about the storm. If you want to talk a little bit about this week's episode with the shark addicts, that'll be cool. What I was originally going to have planned before Mother Nature interceded was to have some of the shark addict guys here with me live so we could talk about the episode. It was a lot of fun, that episode. But yeah, let's see, man. Yeah, I'm hoping we'll be okay too. That's like one of the big questions I get all the time. Are we going to be okay? And the answer is, I just don't know. I mean, this is a big storm. It's going to get crazy here. The time obviously now is 4:04. So the weather has steadily been getting worse throughout the day. The winds are picking up. It's not really too intense, but I do have the entire house is enclosed now with the hurricane shutters. After I get off the live broadcast, I got to shut the warehouse up. I got to put on the last shutters, and then, just kind of hang on to your butts, because come around 1:30, 2 a.m. Friday morning, things are going to be whipping real hard. They're thinking sustained gusts of 125 miles, sustained winds of 125 miles an hour, and then gusts can go up to about 145, which is pretty sick. So I don't know. Tomorrow is going to be, after these things, you don't really sleep during a hurricane because you'll hear your roof creaking and you're always thinking, man, is this thing gonna hold? But the house is sturdy, and we're gonna see tomorrow if the animals are gonna be okay. Let's see what's going on, guys. Yeah, Noah, thanks for being a fan since 300, buddy. I appreciate it, guys. A lot of the water turtles are just gonna stay in their ponds. They're fine. I don't worry about them. They're just gonna, go to the bottom of the pond and they'll be fine. The tortoises, the large sulcatas are in their shed. I'm hoping that holds. The Aldabra and Darwin and Socrates are in their bunker right now. I got them in this morning because I wanted to make sure I got Darwin in because she's 350 pounds. And you have to, if you guys have watched the video I did where I'm just kind of tapping her, that's what I had to do. So it was a little bit like I was putting them up for a winter's night. So I'm fortunate enough that many of the bunkers are really secure. It's the iguana cages, the big iguana cage and monitor lizard cage where Slinky lives. It's just, there's a lot of pine trees up there and I didn't want to take a risk of a tree falling on that cage and hurting the iguanas. So I pulled them out. All the iguanas are out. Slinky is out. So they're in this room in the warehouse. So it's kind of like crazy, man. The Caraticellis, the Fly River turtle, who was asking me about that? Kevin Neff, Kevin Neef, I believe that's how you say it. Yeah, Kev, that animal's in the water. I'm not really worried about that. That pond's it's built out of cement, so hopefully it'll be there. Boca Raton, bracing for the hurricane. I hear you, Mr. Flynn. Good luck, buddy. Jazzel's asking me how many animals I have. With everything included, I've got somewhere around 140. We're talking about water turtles and so on, which I don't have an accurate number on there. I did not put a lot of food in the enclosures. Thing that's interesting, guys, you got to remember, reptiles are true survivors. So, in this situation in the wild, I mean, rock iguanas like the rhino iguana and the Cuban iguana, they live on islands. For example, Cuba. Cuba just got hit incredibly hard by this very same storm. These animals are not out feeding. They're not going to be feeding during the storm. They're not going to be drinking during the storm. They are basically going to be finding some place that they can hide, be secure, not drown, and they're going to wait it out. And that's the survival tactic. That's why reptiles are so fantastic. Tortoises, lizards, crocodilians, snakes, they'll eat, and then when things get tough, they can hang out for a few days, sometimes even weeks if they had to. Now, they're not going to have to here. I'm hoping, with any luck, that after the storm is passed, I can get these animals back out in their enclosures, and it's business as usual. But with this kind of storm, I'm going to have perimeter fence damage, and there's going to be a lot of drama, guys. It's going to suck. I can tell you that. Let's go back to the questions. Let's see. A lot of staying safe. I appreciate that, guys. Let's see. Yeah, all right, man. Sports Vines is telling me that it's raining in Broward County. They're south of me. And if you listen, the rain bands just started, man. Okay. So we got some rain bands here. Okay. My gosh. Yeah. I'm hoping I don't get hit hard, Animal Arc TV. I do have indoor space for the carpets, for all my snakes that are outdoors. I just brought them in this morning. They are indoors. The snakes, I have the Hog Island boas here. I also have the Timor pythons that are living in the house until they grow up and are able to go outside. My goodness. Okay, so someone's asking me, let's see, who's this? Sile Hint, how nervous was I with the sharks? Okay, so to answer that question, it'll get my mind off the impending doom that I'm about to encounter. So the sharks, man, the shark addicts are great guys. Now, I have scuba dived or dove with sharks before. Right here in Jupiter, I've done it. Pretty cool. I've dove also in Tahiti with some sharks and the Great Barrier Reef. I was in Australia doing some diving. Now, the thing about what we did with the shark addicts is it was the first time that I was without a tank. So we just went in, and it's kind of funny because what had happened was, we were really attracting sharks to us. Usually when you scuba dive, you'll see 1 or 2 sharks and they pay no attention to you because, you know, there's no reason. We're loud, we're noisy, we don't have any bait or fish near us. So the sharks aren't as curious when you're scuba diving. But when we started chumming to bring the sharks in, and always the night before, I get really anxious, and the initial, you got to get up the nerve to initially like fall off the boat backwards into a shark infested water. It's not really infested. Sharks can't infest the water, right? You know why? Because they live in the water. They belong there. So there's no such thing as shark infested waters. But anyway, I went in, and for that first couple minutes, it's like, what am I doing? You know, your brain plays tricks on you because you're looking through the mask and you think, oh, wow, look, it's a shark. But then you go, wow, I'm in the water with it. So you think you're looking through an aquarium glass, but you're not. But afterwards, it really begins to be a peaceful experience because you realize that the sharks are looking for the food. As long as you don't react like an injured fish, as long as you aren't enticing them in any way by being in distress or being overamped, and you just relax, it's amazing. At one point, we had about 25 sharks all around us. We had bull sharks and hammerhead, and we had silkies and blacktips. It was just really strangely peaceful, but always being present of the fact that, you know what? We're in the water with sharks. So if I took a bite, it's on me. But that's what we wanted. We wanted to get in there, and I had a great time with them. If I go over here like this, I'm going to move you like that. And you can see I'm using the iguana cages here. I think you can see them. Can you guys see them? Hope you can. Anyway, moving you back now really quick. Let me just check the angle and make sure that I didn't screw things up too bad. Well, now you can see my light switch and my door here. The mystery is gone, folks. Give me 1 second, please. Let's just boop, put it back there. Yeah, so Zoom had great people, do a good job. So right on. Ooh. I cut my hair too. That's called the hurricane haircut because you don't want hair. Well, mine's falling out anyway, so what are you going to do? All right, man. Hey, guys. Who's this? Isaac Wales. Hey, Ken, my name's Isaac. I live in Florida. I went through Hurricane Isaac. Congratulations. Nice name. Thanks for all the nice stuff. Let's see. What else do we got, guys? The biggest shark we saw was probably about a 10-foot silky. And then right below that was about a 9-foot bull shark. And as you know, bull sharks have that reputation of being a man-eater. And they're definitely a large predatory animal, so you got to be careful with them. But they also happen to be the sharks that were the least interested in coming close to the bait to get it. They were a little bit more wary. But a funny story about the bull shark. So we were all in the water, and my partner Tom, my producer, camera guy Tom, I went out of the water, and him and Kyle were up on the boat, and they're going, Kenan, turtle, turtle. And about 60 foot off the bow of the boat, there was a loggerhead turtle. So I started swimming out to it, right? And you're wearing a mask and snorkel. So I'm swimming out, and I look in the water as I'm swimming, and about 15, 20 feet below me, 2 bull sharks are just kind of mirroring me, keeping an eye on me. And I thought, yeah, I don't really need to go see that turtle. A little bit too far out. So I kind of went back and stayed close to the boat. But man, we're going to do more with shark addicts. I love those guys. They live right here in my town, and we'd like to do more with those guys. All right, what's up? Guz is saying salutations from Los Angeles, California. Yeah, man. That's right. We don't have seasons here. We got the wet and dry season, or hurricane and not hurricane season. But very cool. Just watch out for them earthquakes. You're due for one. Let's see, while on sharp subject, what was the scariest experience you ever had with an animal, man? Joseph Hill asked. That's a cool question. The scariest experience I've ever had with an animal. Man, it's pretty weird. That's a good question. I have to think about that for a second. I think if I'm being, completely honest, the guys I've learned from and I'm learning from tend to be guys that really got their stuff together. And so we try not to put ourselves into really hairy situations. But I was at my friends, the registers out there at Gatorama in Palmdale, Florida, doing their Gator Roundup. And it wasn't that it was the scariest thing, but it was a reminder. It reminded me of what exactly I was doing. So we were doing a Gator Roundup. They have a lot of large natural ponds or lakes, to be perfectly honest, on their property. So we were wading up to our knees, and we were on a gator. And so we had ropes on the gator's in the water. We're trying to pull the animal back. And as I'm walking backwards, I trip, I brush against something, and I feel it swish behind me, and it was actually another large bull gator. So that was pretty scary. That just reminded me like, oh yeah, there's alligators in this water that I'm just traipsing through. So that was pretty scary. Beyond that, catching up the python, once we had that big python, and my buddy Fred wanted me to hold its head, and that animal's so strong, it was turning around. I didn't want to take a bite from a 19-foot retic. That would have been a bummer. So yeah, Caitlin Wade, have you ever had a really bad animal bite? I've been very lucky. Bit by a snapping turtle on my thumb years ago, but he let go. No, so far so good. Keeping it real. The key is to not put yourself in that danger. I know there's a lot of other YouTube channels out there where they get bit all the time and they're just doing that for sensationalism. But no, I'm not. You don't want to get bit, because not only will you get hurt, it's possible you could hurt the animal. So the key is to not get bit. So far so good. What about blue whales? They're on the verge of extinction. It would be great to educate people on whales. We'd love to do stuff with whales. As the channel grows, we are going to have more opportunities. I've been very fortunate to have worked in television prior to this, and have met a lot of fantastic people. And in the 13 or so years that I've been living in Florida, I've been also fortunate enough to meet really connected zoologists, biologists, marine biologists. And the hope is, with your guys' support, is that when we start putting out shows like we're doing, that you guys will help us out by sharing them, liking them, telling your friends, because we're trying to become a fun, educational channel. You know me, I get goofy, I have a lot of fun, but the core of what we're trying to do is fill a need that doesn't exist any longer on television, where you can actually be educated about animals, and that animals aren't these marauding, murderous creatures trying to kill us. So to answer your question, we are trying, that would certainly be something that we'd want to do. Blue whales, whales of any kind, manatee, dolphin. I love all those animals. It'd be amazing to maybe dive with them, but we have some things planned for next year that I'm pretty excited about. So we'll be getting back in the water in episodes to come. Let's see. How about do I go herping at all? Some eggs ask me, do I go herping at all? Of course, but I don't ever take from the wild. I just like to go out road cruising for snakes. I take the Jeep out, go on out to that wildlife management area that's not too far from here, and I definitely do a little snake in and looking for gators. It's always so much fun to see animals in the wild. So yeah, for sure. Let's see. The sulcata house reinforced? I surely hope so, but I got to be honest with you, I'm not exactly the best carpenter, so I don't know. We're going to find out, guys. Sunday's bonus video will be pretty nuts. What do you think, or the idea of cloning mammoth? It kind of went too fast for me to get the full deal, but what do I think about cloning extinct species? Hey, listen, I love it. I think it would be cool. Honestly, I'm not against it. I think that's kind of neat. I think if we can, create an arc of DNA, if we can catalog the animals that are on Earth now, if there's some kind of global catastrophe, like let's take, for example, an animal like the Fijian iguana. This is science fiction, guys, so we're just going to have fun with it. The Fijian iguana is a very rare species of iguana and is found in Fiji, which are islands, and they are sometimes prone to getting hit by hurricanes. But in the Western Pacific, hurricanes are known as typhoons. So they call them typhoons, but it's the exact same thing. Hurricane, cyclone, typhoon. Cyclones are in the Indian Ocean, typhoons in the Western Pacific, and in the Eastern Pacific and Eastern Atlantic, or any of the Atlantic, they're called hurricanes. Anyhow, hurricane can wipe out that entire population of animals, right? Anytime you have animals that are on an island, they are just more inherently under threat of some kind of natural calamity and possibly losing that whole species. But if we could take DNA, keep it around, and then clone them over again, that'd be pretty neat. That'd be positive. Then going way into science fiction, it would be sick if we could see a woolly mammoth. It would be incredible if we can get a Tyrannosaurus Rex back. I would think that is insane. So yeah, cool question. Let's see. The pond turtles are safe, man. Why, man? Why not? Yeah, they're safe. They're hanging out. Not a problem. What's up, George the Beast from Mexico, huh? Very cool, man. I am living in Jupiter. Somebody asked that question. I don't know who it is. CT Videos. I'm in Jupiter. And lucky me, I think the storm is going to just skirt right on up the coast right next to us. Let's see. I want to find another good question. What part of Long Island am I from? Suffolk County, Seminole Riches, Long Island, Eastern Long Island. What's going on, Tony from Kentucky? How you going there, dude? I have seen file snakes. They're pretty bizarre. The snakes seem to be safe here in my house. Yes, they are inside a reinforced room in reinforced boxes in a big metal warehouse. So fingers crossed. Right, man. Goodness gracious, man. That is my monkey-tailed skink. There he is. What a good boy. You gonna bite me? You gonna bite me? Sometimes he can be temperamental, but that's Solomon. I figured it'd be nice. It's a little you gonna bite me, Solomon? You freakazoid. Hey, be nice, be nice. So yeah, you can see he gets a little ornery on account. He's got a small medulla oblongata. That's from the Waterboy. Medulla oblongata. Yeah, dinosaurs are fake, Frank. That's right, buddy. They were fake. Anyway, what do I mean by Jupiter, Mummy Gummy? I'm not talking about the planet. I'm talking about the town of Jupiter. That's where I live. Squirrel is somewhere lounging about, safe and sound. Do I have enough room to house all my friends indoors? I got a lot of friends. I wouldn't want all my friends over here. Some of them stink. Some of them are, they eat too much. No, I only have one spare bedroom, so I don't have a lot of room for my friends. I'm thinking you're talking about my animals. No, my animals are outside. They're all safe and sound. Let's see. My goodness. How do I take the iguanas? Just put them right in. Yeah, well, Tony Mattingly. Yeah, well, Kyle and I have been on the phone together. It's going to be his first time going through a hurricane down here. It's tough to say. I really don't know. I know his house is nice and sturdy. I think the crocs outside are going to be just fine. He's got, chain link fence. The wind will blow right through it. The crocs, like the water turtles, are just going to be hunkered down into the ponds. They'll come up for a breath and go right back down. The greenhouse, is going to sustain some kind of damage. It's just maybe some of the plastic will rip off of it. But hopefully it'll be okay. So we'll see, and I'm definitely going to be doing videos afterwards, guys, to keep you abreast of what's going on with everything out there. What's my favorite BMX bike trick? Spencer, my favorite was the 360 backflip, the Decade Air, which was fun, and I love 720s. And then, the simplest thing is called a manual. It's when you go like kind of fast out the ramp and just do a wheelie without pedaling. That was a lot of fun too. It just gives you good feelings. Thank you, little Lottie. I appreciate all the luck. Goodness, man, we are cruising. Hi Thing Reviewer from England. Thanks for watching. It's kind of late over there. Yeah, man, 24 a.m. in Indonesia. Aw, Fajal, thank you so much. I hope it's interesting. I know you guys get some incredible weather in Indonesia as well. You got some cool animals there. I'd love to go to Indonesia and see all the animals that you have. And thank you very much for staying up so late. I hope it's worth it. I always feel slightly guilty. Yeah, man, we got some Scotsmen watching. Thanks, Jack Roche. Appreciate it, mate. I once was taught how to give a Glasgow kiss. It's not that fun. I had some crazy friends from Glasgow. All right, man. Hey, Kenan, prayers with you. Thank you very much, Alexis. Appreciate it. India, yeah, man. We got everybody out here. 2 a.m. in the morning. Yes, Tony, I have been to Kentucky. You don't have cowboy hats like this and never gone to Kentucky. I've been to Louisville and Lexington, Kentucky. Yeah, all right. So someone's asking me what happened in Nantucket. Earlier this week, if you guys follow me on my Instagram and Facebook accounts at Kamp Kenan, you'll see some posts from I was in Nantucket. And I was, I've worked in television. And from time to time, I'll do reporting for outside television. So it's just like outside TV or outside magazine, but this is a television network. And so they called me up because the guy there that does all the executive producing, he and I worked together in sports TV, and he said, listen, I got the perfect gig for you. Do you want to fly to Nantucket next week and go on the O-Search research vessel? Now, O-Search is a fantastic nonprofit organization that is basically partnered up with conservation biologists, marine biologists, and they are studying the great white shark. They actually have a retrofitted crab boat that they are able to lift a platform out of the water. And they've modified it so that it's now lifting great white sharks out of the water that the scientists can then do tagging, blood samples, all sorts of incredible research so that they will really, truly understand what's going on with the white shark. Unfortunately for me, I got there on Monday. The seas were just incredibly rough Monday and Tuesday, so they had to come back into port, into Nantucket Harbor. But in about a month and a half, that will air, and you'll get to meet Chris Fisher, who is the gentleman who started O-Search, and it's a really, really cool, exciting nonprofit company that's doing some great things with great white sharks and tiger sharks. And you can actually go to osearch.org. That's OCEARCH, O-Search. I hope that's it, .org. And you can track and see real-time GPS tracking for great white sharks and all kinds of different sharks that are out there, so we can find out what they're doing. All right, let's see. Hey, Aussie Reptiles and Aquarium Fish. Hello back, mate. Good to see you. You guys make good hats. Let's see. How do I provide my animals with adequate heat? You guys need to check out the Kamp Kenan videos. I have a tour that explains all that. Go ahead and watch some of the videos. There are heating pads in there. Let's see. All right, man. Thank you, Radul. Appreciate you guys watching every week, man. Thank you. I hope you guys are doing good out there in California. Definitely doing better than me out here. I'm a Steve Irwin fan. Definitely always have been. Going back here. Let's see. All right, guys. You see the iguana moving to my right, Green Machine? That's actually a monkey tail skink right up there. So he's hanging out. All right. If you're going to start your own reptile sanctuary, what's the best pro tip to become successful? That's a good question. I get it all the time. Best thing to do is to read, learn as much as you can, meet people that are smarter than you, and see if they are good people and will allow you to become someone that they can mentor. Don't be afraid to volunteer. If you love something, you're going to do it for free. Bottom line. There's no money in this. There really isn't. It's you got to hustle, man. So basically, what we're trying to do is just do education, and we're selling our Kamp Kenan T-shirts. I know I keep promising those. The store is being set up. We will send out a mass email and lots of posts to let you know when that's happening. And also, guys, you know, to do Kamp Kenan, it requires a lot of resources. And Tom has set up a donation. We're gonna be hoping we don't need it after this storm, but if there is some things you know, that are out of my control, I'm hoping that maybe we can all get together and help out in case we need to rebuild out here. So it's going to be pretty nuts. What else do we have here? What's my favorite tortoise that I have? All of them. Let's see. But if I'm going to be honest here, Nostradamus is pretty darn cool tortoise. That's my Aldabra tortoise. Let's see. Well, CT Videos has asked me how I tame iguanas. I don't have a concrete answer to that. How I have tamed my iguanas is I give them space and I occupy that space. I go in there when they are nervous. I let them be nervous, but the more you're around your animal and the more pleasant experiences it has with you, and i.e. you come in, it gets fed, you come in, you don't try and grab it. A lot of it is patience for me. It's a building of trust. For example, Slinky, he's not an iguana, but he's still a pretty smart lizard. And over the course of about a year and a half now, in the last 5 months, after having him about a year of me just going in there and working with him and sitting down and being calm and feeding him and him understanding I'm not there to hurt him, he's really warmed up to where now he let me pick him up this morning, and I was able to put him safely and easily into a secured box that will ride out the storm. So that's what you want to do. You want to just be calm with your animals. Don't always try and grab them. Just try and, you know, allow them to come to you. All right. Let's see. I don't speak Deutsch. I'm sorry. Creep 3R 500. No speaking the Deutsch, but I've been to Germany, Munich, Dusseldorf, Hamburg, and Berlin. Great place. I'm half German myself. Let's see. My first reptile was a red-eared sliding turtle. Red-eared slider. Anyway, okay, Salvador Morales, what do I think about pancake tortoises? Great, love them, they're awesome. Very peculiar, flat, flexible species that eats similar diet as the leopard tortoise or the sulcata. The reason I don't keep them is they don't do very well in human environments. So for me, if I can't keep them outdoors, I really don't want them, you know? I mean, it just makes things easier for me to keep things outdoors, except during the hurricane. Hello from Ohio. I've always been a snake guy, but you inspired me to get my first Russian tortoise. Love his personality. Keep up the great shows. Hope everything goes well with the storm. Thank you so much, JHMX L1200, man. Good for you. Russian tortoises are fun. And I love snakes too, man. I love reptiles. So very cool. I appreciate you watching the show, and appreciate you checking out a Russian tortoise. They are characters, man. Again, I can't keep them because it's just too wet down here for me, for them rather. Oh, hey man, you're going to bed in Sweden. Good night, mate. Have a good night there from Sweden. When did I get my love for reptiles? When I was like 3 or 4 years old. Earliest memories were of Godzilla movies, and that was it. Hooked. Love Godzilla, and I think it's just the coolest thing in the world that we still have little mini Godzillas running around like Solomon the monkey tail. Right, buddy? Here he is up here, man. So he's just doing his thing. All right, guys, we're going to wind this up here. Would I recommend water monitors to anyone who hasn't looked for any species of monitor? No, I wouldn't. I would definitely not, because water monitors grow extremely large. I would start with a smaller species first. I'll tell you what, if you can find them, Ackie monitors are really great. Get about that big. That's all monitor in that size. Not a lot of people have the room to do monitor lizards. They're very intelligent, very smart, beautiful, and active. And you got to give them space. I wouldn't even consider it if I didn't have that large enclosure out there. So I would hold off on that because they grow really quick. In about 5 to 6 years, you're going to have a pretty darn good size water monitor if it's a male. So definitely try and get an animal that you can house safely and easily. because, you know, like I say this all the time, it's so easy for you to get excited and want to get everything you can, and bigger is better, and that's not always the case. So do your homework, man. Don't it'll be better for you and better for the animal. Hello from New Orleans. What's up? I love New Orleans. Let me tell you the cities I love in the United States as far as a city, if I'm going to be like an urban animal. New York City, Miami, New Orleans. Love the town. You know why? Great food. Great food. Doesn't feel like you're in the United States. It feels different. It's got its own vibe. It's mysterious. A lot of vampires there. And good food, dude. Good food. Good people, too. All right, man. Let's see. All right. Well, listen, folks, this is it. I have been on for 35 minutes. Let me see. Let me see if I can get a couple more questions here. Hey, bro, from Scotland. What's up, Matthew? Another Scotsman out there. Appreciate you watching. What's up? Hello from Denmark. Yeah, right on, dude. Very cool. All right, guys. Hey, Kennedy, reason why I love reptiles. Well, thank you very much, Daniel. Daniel Rosado. Very cool, man. Woo! Jasmine Stewart, coming to you from New Zealand. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. I'd love to get to New Zealand and ride mountain bikes and see some tuatara. That would be fun. Maybe a couple weta. And, of course, go to the Shire, because everyone knows that's where that's where Middle Earth is. Very cool. All right, man. Slovenia. Nice. I used to listen to a band called Laibach from Slovenia. Very cool. All right. Well, there you have it, everybody. It is me and Solomon hanging out. I know the girls are out there somewhere. The weather has gotten bad. I'm going to document it, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's a live Q&A. We're going to do it every Thursday. Hope you like this sort of thing. And thanks again. Wish me luck, guys, because it's going to get bad here tonight. I really hope that we have places for the animals, man. I just want everyone to be healthy and safe, and no trees landing on anyone's heads, so that's important. So, all right, I'll be seeing you next week with another episode of Kamp Kenan. Don't forget, Sunday we're going to have a bonus. Now, hopefully, we'll be able to have a bonus video that entails what we're going through here with the storm, but that means we need power, which we may not have, because I got to get the generator out there working. All right, guys. Northern Ireland, top of the morning there to you there, friends. All right there. I'm an Irishman myself, but I'd have a terrible accent. You can call me on it if you want. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We're signing off. We'll see you again soon. Mwah. Appreciate it, everybody. So long. Time to get back to work.